Okay, welcome everybody to our April 10th spring meeting. Let's start with introductions. I'm Giselle Nova. I'm the coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. Jamie Tarn is our president, and she will jump on soon and take over the meeting until she gets here. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Stephen, I see you're up in my corner, so I'll start with you.
Hello, my name is Stephen Decatur. I'm the hazard mitigation planner with the city of Dunsmuir.
Okay. Greg
Dinger, volunteer at Manchester West.
Carolyn,
Yeah, hi everyone. Carolyn Napper. I'm on the board of directors for the Fire Safe Council.
Julie Titus,
Oops. Hey, it's working. Hi, Julie Titus. I'm retired Forest Service and have been helping communities as a part-time consultant in wildland fire and fuels.
Marlene Ludlow,
Hi, I'm Marlene Ludlow. I'm just, I don't know, just a concerned citizen.
yeah, she's been very helpful with a lot of the stuff we're doing in the Mount Shasta area. She's more than concerned, she's active, and we appreciate her. Christian Jordan, did I already talk to you? Christian, who introduced
Hi,
yourself?
everyone. Forestry advisor for UC Cooperative Extension.
Yeah. Kristen Norman,
Hi, sorry, I don't have my video up yet. I'm in transit on my way home. I'm Kristen Norman. I'm Giselle's administrative assistant and the outreach coordinator for Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
right. Eric Olson,
Hi, this is Eric Olson with Siskiyou County Air Pollution Control District. Good evening.
Gregory Randazzo,
Hello. I've been on a few different ones. I work for Quartz Valley Indian Reservation. I'm currently their wildfire mitigation specialist in training.
okay. There's one here called Grana. Okay. Jeremy John, go ahead.
iPad of Grana.
Yeah. Oh, iPad of Grana. Oh. Okay. Jeremy Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Jeremy Johnson. I work in the CAL FIRE Siskiyou unit as the pre-fire engineer.
And Jennifer Erickson.
Hello, my name's Jennifer Erickson. I'm the Forest Fire Prevention Officer here on the Klamath National Forest.
Joe Bergman.
Hi, Joe Bergman with the American Red Cross in disaster relief services, as well as community preparedness programs.
Josh Bien.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Bean. I am the program manager with CORE, located up here in Siskiyou.
Sorry, I didn't get that quite right. Will next time. Let's see, who am I missing here? There's more. Matt Gazelle.
Hi, everybody. I am also a program manager for CORE, located in Los Angeles.
Nancy Ogren.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Ogren, Siskiyou County Supervisor, District 4.
Nina Niram.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Nina Kaniram here, area manager for CORE and working with the Fire Safe Council on the Community Wildfire Defense Grant.
Owen Cabo, Delmullen.
Good evening, everyone. Owen
Patty
Cabo
Grantham
with Siskiyou County Office of Emergency Services.
Welcome, Owen. Tessa Bailey.
Oh, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh, Patty Grantham.
Waiting for my turn, for goodness sake. So, hey, Patty Grantham with Siskiyou Prescribed Burn Association. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that. Tessa, Teresa.
Concerned citizen.
All right, Yvonne.
Yvonne Ray, Klamath River Fire Safe Council. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? All right, well, welcome. It's good to get to know everybody, even if it's on Zoom. And is there anything anybody wants to add to the agenda? We need to review and finalize the agenda. Is there any comments or anybody want to add anything? All right. Well, we're going to start with 3 of our new fire mitigation folks that have filled a couple of positions throughout the county and that will be serving us. And I would like to start with Stephen Decatur, City of Dunsmuir Hazard Mitigation Planner. Stephen, what do you want to tell us?
Hey, so I did make a little presentation if you want me to share that, but if not, I can just kind of walk through kind of some of the things.
How long is your presentation? You can.
It's 6 slides of text.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let me make you a co-host so that you can share your screen.
While she's doing that, I'll just kind of start off. So my name's Stephen Decatur. I am the new hazard mitigation planner for the city of Dunsmuir. I'm also new to the area. Can everyone see my screen? All right. I'm also new to the area. So a little background on me. I moved here from Colorado. Previously, I worked for the Denver Office of Emergency Management. And before that, I was with the Larimer County Office of Emergency Management, which is where Fort Collins is in Colorado. There, I dealt with the Cameron Peak fire recovery work. That was the largest fire in Colorado history. So I know wildfire. I missed wildfire, and that's why I kind of chose to come here for this position. So I'm funded through the Cal OES Jumpstart Grant, which is a grant that some other communities in the county have also received. Happy Camp got one. That person is Jasmine. And then Tool Lake also got one, and they have hired a person as well. Wairika is still looking to fill their position. So if you know anybody looking to do this kind of work, their position is still open. So please pass that along. And we're the only county in the state that got 5 of these, or 4 of these. So that's pretty exciting. So my position's funded through 2028. So some of the things that I'm working on here, specifically related to wildfire, are green waste days. Dunsmuir has been doing 2 of these a year, but they've been really heavy lifts by some really engaged people. Lyndon Scheiben here in the community has been kind of spearheading these, and it's a lot of work for somebody who's just doing this as a volunteer. So now that I'm funded, I'm going to be kind of leading these moving forward. There's still going to be a lot of community involvement because it takes a lot of people to run these. But we're having one May 4th. We're looking to do these twice a year. We're going to try to set up an advanced schedule for these so people know they're coming, so we can get more participation. But the Shasta Valley RCD, Fire Safe Council, and Siskiyou OES will be attending. We're going to organize volunteers to go around and pick up stuff. That has been done in the past, but we're trying to plan a little bit more. So we made a form that we sent out that's live now, where citizens can request assistance if they need it. We're looking to maybe expand that in the future to actually do some volunteer-led mitigation work on those properties before the actual Green Waste Day. So that way we can get more participation that way. And we're looking to kind of include this kind of Green Waste Day activity in our fees in the future, so that way it can be a self-sustaining program here. The next thing that I'm working on is the DOPE plan, which is a pretty dope name. So the DOPE plan is our version of the Emergency Operations Plan. It's actually the original name that Dunsmuir had for the plan that was made in the 80s. The plan has not been updated since 1991, so it's a little old. So we're currently in the process of updating that plan. We're 29 pages done so far, probably 10 more to go. So once that draft is done, we'll start sending that out to partners and getting approvals and everyone on board with the plan. But it should be completed by the end of the year. So that's really exciting. It's like an all hazards plan, not just wildfire related, but it's really necessary for a city to maintain operations in an emergency, and then also do some pre-planning for what it looks like after the emergency's over and recovery begins. Another thing that we're working on is we're about to submit a grant for a climate adaptation master project. So this is a 5-part project. We're looking to do a climate change-based risk assessment, specifically looking at what our hazards will look like, 50 years down the road. We're going to overhaul the Dunsmuir safety element, which hasn't been updated majorly since 2006. We're going to create a new environmental justice element. We're going to do a climate action funding report. And what that is, it's going to be a report that takes these actions that we get from the first 3 items, and it's going to do a cost benefit analysis of each of those, and then a benefit analysis or cost analysis of what it's going to cost us if we don't take action on these things. And these are going to be rough costs, but it's going to give us some guidance to help us prioritize projects, and then also it'll help us advocate for what we need in future grant opportunities. And then the 5th one is a biomass facility feasibility study to operate a biomass facility. The proposed location we're thinking to do this feasibility study is at the airport here in Dunsmuir. So that's another thing that we're looking at for this 5-part project. But that grant, we should find out about it in late June, early July timeframe. Another thing we're working on, not wildfire related, is CRS Community. It's a community rating system. So what it does is it's a national program where if your municipality participates, it gives you a discount on flood insurance. So we're looking to become a Class 8 community, which would give our residents a 5 to 10% discount on flood insurance. So we're going to be starting that process soon. I'm hoping that we can do it within a year. It can be a cumbersome process, though. It's a lot of information, but it's a lot of things that we already do. We just need to start documenting them so that we can get this discount for our residents. Another thing that would probably be interesting for you all is that we're looking to become a Firewise community for the whole community of Dunsmuir. I've had preliminary talks with CAL FIRE about this, and they seem on board with it. We're trying to figure out now kind of like how we're going to do those assessments for the community. We're looking to digitize those. And so I have been talking with our fire chief about how we're going to do that and what software we're going to use. So we're looking to kind of get this process going. There's a lot of grant activity happening in the Dunsmuir area. So this should be, once we get certified, it should be easy to maintain because there'll be a lot of information coming in and things getting done. So we're really hoping to capitalize on that. And finally, we're looking to do a new siren system for the city. We have one, but it was installed before the 1950s. So some of the project goals with that are to increase coverage, have voice capabilities, and be remote activated. The funding for this, the typical funding source, it's been deprioritized, so it might be a little bit hard for us to get. But we do have really poor cell phone coverage in the city, so there is a decent argument for it. So that's something that we're going to be looking at and pursuing possibly, but that's a couple years down the road if it does happen. And that's everything I have. There's my phone number and my contact information if anybody wants to chat.
Thank you. That's great, Stephen. All of those things are really exciting. I can't wait to see how they turn out. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Any questions for Stephen before we proceed? Okay, let's move to Josh Bean. Josh?
Giselle?
Yes,
Giselle?
Nina.
Sorry, I had put the question in the chat, but I was asking Stephen, what is the name of the climate adaptation grant that you're applying for and when?
Yeah, it's the Climate Adaptation Planning Grant. It's through OPR with the state, and it is open now until June 3rd, I believe, is the closing date.
And you're going for a planning grant or implementation? Oh, it's all planning, right?
It's all planning. The closest thing to implementation is that feasibility study, that number 5 there, but it's all planning related stuff. This is a planning grant. There is a separate grant through OPR that's more related to implementation type stuff, but it's around primarily heat related threats.
Great. Thank you very much and welcome.
In the chat, Yvonne is asking for your contact information. Stephen, can you put it in the chat for her? I lost you. You need to be unmuted. Stephen, you're muted.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I can. I lost where my screen was, but now I see it.
Okay.
Hey, Giselle, I just had a quick comment for Steve.
Okay.
He actually, met with him briefly to share the details or whatever, not details, but gave him he got all the information from the CWPP down there. So it was a really good dialogue. Excellent to have someone with his qualifications in this realm for Dunsmuir. And just wanted to share that. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Julie. It was great to meet with you and get that information.
yeah. And we look forward to working with Stephen in the city too, with the CEQA and the implementation that we are currently doing in Dunsmuir, and we'll be in contact. All right. If that's all the questions for Stephen, let's move on to Josh Bean. Josh, come on and tell us about yourself and what's going to be happening.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Bean. I'm the new program manager with CORE, working alongside the Fire Safety Council of Siskiyou County on the CWDG. A little bit about myself. I'm from Big Bear Lake down in Southern California. Grew up there in the 90s, small community at that time. And that's where I first got exposed to fire, just being evacuated on numerous occasions, and sparked my interest in a career with the fire service. And that started on the Stanislaus National Forest in 2014. And that's also where I came to know the Klamath and Siskiyou area is fighting fire up here. So I was with Stanislaus on an engine for 2 years, and then moved down to Sierra to be a part of the Kings River Hotshots. And I was there for 6 years and finished the apprenticeship program.
Are you there?
How you got me? How you doing, Giselle? Am I coming across okay?
Well, you're freezing from time to time. Everybody has frozen for a few seconds there, but you're back.
Hey, right on. But yeah, career in fire service, specifically with the Forest Service, down there in Kings River Hotshots for 6 years. And yeah, got exposed to fighting fire up here in Siskiyou County, and learned to love it and love the area. So I was very excited for this opportunity to come about. Moved down here last year, so I'm a new resident to Siskiyou, and I'm excited for all the activities and projects that are taking place, and excited to work alongside some of you folks and get to know you. If there's any questions, let me know. Other than that, Giselle, thank you for letting me introduce myself, and I am sorry for any of the glitches.
That's not your problem. I think it's on my end. But yeah, so CORE is working with the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. So you are our team member too, and we look really forward to meeting you in person and working through the program. So thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Giselle.
Next, Christian Jordan, would you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. To those I haven't met, my name's Christian. I'm the new Forestry and Natural Resources Advisor for Shasta, Siskiyou, and Trinity County with UC Cooperative Extension. So yeah, that's a very long title. You may wonder what I do. I would say just focus on the forestry part. Forestry and Natural Resources encompasses pretty much everything, but I'll be mostly focused on forestry, wildfire resilience work. So what I do is 3 parts. My role is to conduct a locally based extension, education, and applied research program for all parties in these 3 counties. That includes private landowners, government agencies, non-government agencies. And I did want to mention 2 things. One is there's a post-fire forest resilience workshop, which is coming up. It's based in Plumas and Lassen counties, but it's online. So it's online for about 5 Tuesdays, a Zoom course put on by my colleagues in Cooperative Extension. So it's an hour and a half on Tuesdays coming up starting April 23rd for 5 or 6 weeks. And there is one in-person field day on May 17th. Down in, I think that's going to be in Plumas. So if anyone is interested in that, that's post-fire forest resilience. And second, I just wanted to mention, if anyone has any questions about their property, in a private sense or on a broader, public sense, feel free to reach out because that is a large part of my role. So I'll put my email in the chat. I'm very new, so I'm still getting a work phone. Next meeting, I'll post the work phone number, but for now, just put the email there. And nice to meet you all.
You too. Christian, can you put the link to the webinar or the workshop in chat too,
Yeah,
or email it to me and I'll send it out?
Yeah, I will send you the flyer, Giselle. That's going to be the best because it's a PDF and there's not a good link to it on the website. So I'll send you the flyer.
Okay, sounds great. Looking forward to it. I think I'm going to join in and do that workshop, educate myself a bit. All right. Well, we're going to move into the updates now. If there are no more questions for all of our new leaders here in Siskiyou County, let's start with the Forest Service and Clint Isabel and the Klamath River Basin Wildfire Crisis Strategy Landscape project. I don't think Clint's here, but Jennifer is.
I am. So actually the program coordinator, Jennifer Christie, was going to join us tonight, but she had something come up. So I did not prepare any updates from them, but she will probably be on the next one or some representative from that group. They have 2 public affairs officers now, so their capacity for attending these meetings has increased.
All right. Our next item, Community Wildfire Defense Grant update. Well, as you saw, Josh Bean is coming into the picture. He's coming back. We're putting him online, and CORE will be working with him to outline some home assessments as soon as we finish our determination of which areas we're going to start in first and who, what, where, and how. And we've been working on that with the board, and hopefully that will be online sooner than later. And that's kind of where we're at. Nina, do you have anything more to say?
Hi, thank you so much, Giselle. I guess just our one big update obviously was introducing Josh Bean to the rest of the community, and then also letting you know, and fingers crossed, we feel pretty good about it. We're making an offer to the program coordinator who would be working alongside Josh as well. So we'll be filling our staff plate there and getting everybody hired and on board in the coming weeks. So very excited with that and ready to get started and get to work.
Me too. All right, moving on to CAL FIRE update.
Just I had a quick question for Yvonne.
Oh, sure.
Just curious how many of the core group are local versus from other counties and SoCal and things. I'm just curious.
This question's for Nina?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it was Nina. Yeah. Sorry.
Hi,
Yeah.
Julie.
Hi.
Hi. So the two, so Josh is local. He is based out of Wairika. And the potential new, she hasn't accepted the offer yet, but we feel really good about it, is also local too, out of Mount Shasta. The headquarters team, which I'm part of, and Matt Gazelle, we're located in Los Angeles at our HQ.
Yeah.
But the 2 main individuals working on the project with the Fire Safe Council and the rest of the community is based in Siskiyou County.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Yeah, CORE has made an effort to recruit local Siskiyou County folks, and we really appreciate that for a lot of reasons. So thanks, Nina. All right, CAL FIRE.
Good evening, everyone. Jeremy Johnson, the pre-fire engineer in the CAL FIRE Siskiyou unit with your unit update. We've been doing some fuel reduction work on the Osgood VTP, which is in the Wairika area. It's about 600 acres. We've currently got 65 acres of mechanical piling done, and we've burned 15 of those acres of piles, and we're doing another 10 tomorrow. Some other fuel reduction work. We've been assisting Tierra Fuego, who's conducting burning that I think actually started today down in the McLeod area. And we were helping with the planning phases with the burn plan and issuing the burn permits. And then moving into fire season, we picked up 34 firefighter ones on Monday, and they're currently going through training. They'll be response ready next Monday. They're going to the firefighter hand crew. And for summer staffing for the hand crew, they're going to have a total of 44 firefighters, 5 fire captains, and 4 fire apparatus engineers. And they'll have, starting next Monday, they'll have 1 crew staffed 7 days a week. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, they'll be doubled up with 2 crews. And they'll be doing fuel reduction work after their ISHI training, which happens on May 6th. So both their crews and the Deadwood crews are busy training for ISHI. And once they get done, then they'll move into fuel reduction work. The unit is looking to have another rehire academy starting the 15th of this month. And then following that week of training, we'll be at 1 engine per battalion. So that'll be on the 22nd. And then tentatively looking at 1 engine per station by June 2nd. And obviously that's all weather dependent. We're also currently working towards securing the exclusive use helicopter contract that comes on for the summer. That'll be housed out at Siskiyou County Airport. And it's a bucket only ship. And then we'll also be coming up soon, May 1st, we'll be requiring burn permits again. And then the last action item is we're working with the KRCE for drafting and dip sites for the summer for fire suppression. Any questions for me?
All right. Well, thank you, Jeremy. And we'll move on to the Forest Service for an update.
Hello again. So we're still burning some piles here and there in our admin sites right now, but we've slowed way down on pile burning. We completed about 6,000 acres of pile burning actually since the end of last fire season. We're looking to shift gears to underburning. So working on a press release right now that will have all the information in it, but tentatively what we're looking at is a prescribed burn this spring out by Cade Mountain, which is just east of Happy Camp. Also, we're looking at getting back to Scott Bar Mountain again, and then over to the Singleton Project, which is just east of Scott Bar Mountain. And they all are part of that larger network of fuel breaks along the ridgetop, kind of between Scott Bar Mountain and, northwest of Wairika. Over on the Goose Nest, they're looking at 4 different possibilities. Continuing out at Van Bremer, out kind of near Tennant there, as well as the Tamarack project, which is right in that same vicinity. There's another project they're looking at starting work on, and that is the First Creek project, which is just north of the Grass Lake Rest area. And then there's a project out on Cedar Mountain north of Antelope Sink that we would be looking at doing some prescribed burning out there. So look for that press release, hopefully coming out in the next few days. Our snow survey results came in. We're close to average over all of the different sites. We came up with 111% of the historic snow depth and 107% of the historic snow water equivalent. So normal out there. We've been putting on our fire refreshers, kind of preparing for fire season, starting to onboard some of our permanent seasonals and getting kind of back into the swing of things. Personnel changes. We have, excuse me. We have Natalie Kelly is detailed into the deputy forest supervisor position. She is normally the district ranger out at Fort Jones, the Salmon Scott district. Danica Carlson will be filling in behind her as the ranger. She's normally the deputy ranger out there. Working through the process still on hiring a permanent district ranger out for the Goose Nest Ranger District. And also same situation with our forest supervisor position. Chris Sexton is still detailed as our forest supervisor. She's normally the deputy. And that's all I've got. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Jennifer, I have a question. I don't know if you guys have talked about this or not, but looking at the snow surveys, it looks like that 6,000 foot level is kind of the magic cutoff, and it looks like we're below, under that, and pretty good above that. Have you guys talked about that at all? I've noticed that, or?
I haven't looked at it that closely yet. So no, I haven't had any conversations about it. What do you, so normally is that higher than what we've normally seen?
I've heard that from a couple of different people who track that kind of thing, that that the snowpack was, pretty good up high, but the warm rainy storms that came in, sort of that mid-level elevation really didn't do that great. And when I looked at the snow survey results, it looks like, it was like under 6,000 feet, we were about at 80%. So, and above 6,000 was like 125. But that's all. I just wanted to know if there was any talk about that. Thank you.
Not yet, and I'll go ahead and put the link to that press release into the chat if folks wanted to have a look at it. It's broken down by sites. Thanks, Patty.
Anybody else? Good stuff. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks.
Let's move on then to Shasta Valley RCD. Is anybody going to speak for them tonight? How about Cal RC&D? George is not here. If I miss you or miss somebody, always just speak up. Okay, Siskiyou Prescribed Burn Association. Patty, are you going to talk about them?
Sure, I can talk just a little bit. We're looking for opportunities to still do a little bit of pile burning, kind of watching the weather to see if we can kind of help people get that last little piece taken care of. I think the kind of the big news, and this is a nerdy thing, is that, there's the California Fire Marshal's Office established a burn boss qualification through the Fire Marshal's Office that links into liability coverage, for folks, and to do to write burn plans and to help people burn on private property. And there's like 29, this qualification's been around for a few years now. There's only 29 people in the state that, last I checked the spreadsheet, that held the qualification. The really good news is, so I'm burying the lead, here's the lead. In the middle of January, we're going to offer, it looks like the course to get this qualification is going to be offered in Wairika. So that's pretty cool. So
that is cool.
I'll keep you up to date on that.
Yeah, and we'll get the information out for those who wish to earn that certification. And maybe we'll get more burn bosses here in Siskiyou County. That'd be awesome. Okay, any questions? Let's move on to Scott River Watershed Council. Anybody here? Mount Sierra Nevada Conservancy. Okay. Siskiyou County OES, Owen.
Hi, yes, good evening. Biggest update from Siskiyou County OES. Tomorrow is going to be our test of system for the new Ready Siskiyou Alerts platform. That's our alert and warning platform. That's the replacement for Code Red. It's an upgraded system that's going to be a lot more effective, a lot more efficient, a lot more streamlined. We're really excited for that. That alert is going to go out at 11 a.m., that test. And then we have 2 more tests happening in June. The date for those is going to be determined. Best way to do that, to get signed up, is going to be going to alerts.readysiskiyou.gov. And I'll be posting that as well as my contact information in the chat if anybody has any questions or if they're having any trouble signing up. We also have a video showing the entire sign up process on our Facebook. And then reminders for that test of system have been posted on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Owen. Anybody, any questions for Owen?
If you're signed up for Code Red, are you signed up for the alert?
That's a great question. Hopefully everybody that was signed up in the Code Red system was transferred over. However, people do fall through the cracks and we want to make sure that everybody's signed up. So the best way to do that is going to be to head over to alerts.readysiskiyou.gov and make sure that you're signed up. Again, if you're having any problems getting signed up or if you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any of those.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
All right, moving on. If there are no more questions for Owen, Nancy Ogren, you have an update.
Well, the only real update I have is that I did sign up for that the other day at the supervisors meeting and it worked out pretty slick. So don't be afraid of it. I'm just plugging the system. It worked pretty slick. Even though I was signed up for Code Red, I went ahead and did it anyway. All of my time lately has been spent with dam removal and water issues. I haven't spent, can you hear that dog howling? Hang on.
Well, mine's yapping. I don't know if you can hear
It's
that or
not my dog. It's my neighbor's and it's a hound and it drives me crazy. So there,
Oh.
it should be quiet. My dog's fast asleep at my feet. So I don't have a lot of forest news to share. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna just stop there. I'm just overwhelmed with water right now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Water's a big subject right now.
It's all about water right now. For me, so.
I get it. Any questions for Nancy?
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, shoot them my way. Give it to me. Or not. And I'd be really happy with that.
All right. Okay. Red Cross. Joe, what you have for us?
Sorry, I'm duplexing meetings. Hi. I just wanted to pass along that we're rolling out. I know the Red Cross focuses on many different things and topic of this meeting, but we're rolling out compression only or hands only CPR to the community. A lot of people in this meeting, I know you get full CPR training and first aid training, but if you have anyone in your community that's, scouting groups, church groups, businesses, just general, hold one at a library, let me know. And we'll hold a compression only CPR class. It's sometimes called bystander CPR. So I just want to alert you to it. I think Kristen's going to be sending on an email that I wrote up plus a flyer. So please contact me if you're interested. And also, and this kind of applies to you, Stephen Decatur, we're often in front of different community groups. And the reason why I mentioned Stephen, I'll be in the front of the Dunsmuir, at the Dunsmuir Library this Saturday, just doing a general talk about home fire preparedness and wildfire preparedness, particularly those things that Red Cross focuses on: evacuation, what to bring with you, things to think about, after, seeking shelter, seeking assistance. And if I'm more than happy to include a one-liner, a one-slider, if you'd like me to just communicate what your group is doing that may apply to the general community. So to say, hey, if you're interested in, fire mitigation at your home, here's a couple organizations you can contact, phone numbers and emails, things like that. So kind of just wanted to get that word across. And if you have any questions, feel free to text me, chat me, or however you want to go. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Joe, for all you do and for reaching out to all of our communities. It's very important, and CPR is very important as well. So I hope people take advantage of that. Any questions for Joe?
Oh, just Yvonne is oh yeah, get your contact info in the chat, please, Joe.
All right, thank you. Let's move on. Pack Power, anybody here? They had a webinar this afternoon, but anyway. Okay, NRCS, anybody here from them, from there? Okay, Eric Olson, Siskiyou County Air Quality.
Good evening. This is Eric Olson with the Air Pollution Control District. Air Pollution Control District is continuing to work with property owners, land managers, prescribed fire practitioners to approve their smoke management plans and issue smoke management and other burn permits. We're currently monitoring the prescribed fire that's taking place right now around the community of McLeod. That information is posted online. That was done by our air pollution specialist, Darren Weeks, who deployed the monitors in McLeod last week. So for those interested, you can see the air monitor data on the Air Now fire and smoke map. That's all I have to say unless you have questions for me. Thank you.
Have they lit the fire around McLeod yet? I had information today that it hadn't actually started. It was supposed to start today.
Yes, they ignitions commenced yesterday, I believe. I think it was Tuesday were the first ignitions. I know driving south today, you can see, you can also watch the smoke on the Alert California webcams. We're getting some pretty good, pretty good lofting and mixing. I think they got 100 acres done already and over 100 acres already. It's a pretty good sized project. So we hope that with this project and other ones, we have a lot of burning opportunities this spring for everyone. It's a good thing. It's right, pretty much surrounding McLeod. So we hope the best for them, and you can follow. You can also follow. There's a number of other apps and online information that follow these projects that are smoke management plans. One of the apps is oh gosh, now I'm gonna space out on the name. Well, there's a state agency where we enter all the smoke management plans, and that's called PFIRS, PFIRS, or Prescribed Fire Incident Reporting System. And the other one, I believe, is called, there's an app called California Smoke Spotter. And amongst other sources of information, it grabs ignitions, authorizations from PFIRS. So when people want to find out where the smoke is coming from, or just curious to know what's happening in their area, they can see where the prescribed burns are happening in their region.
That's good information. Thank you. I think I'll go check that out later. I was remiss in not putting Pacific Forest Trust on the update list, but Mike, you're here. Mike Bradley, would you like to say anything about that project or the project that you're working on?
Sure. Thanks, Giselle. Yeah, the Pacific Forest Trust project that I was working on that I presented to the Fire Safe Council here has been put on hold. The Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation saw all the good work that was being done in Siskiyou County and has decided to focus on some other areas for their input. So right now it's on hold and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we can collaborate on something else then with him.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So
and tomorrow night, the Siskiyou Land Trust is putting on a wildfire resilience panel. I'm going to sit on that and kind of present some of the stuff that we talked about before. But that's tomorrow at 7 o'clock at the museum in Mount Shasta.
7 at the museum?
Yeah.
We're gonna put that on then. Okay.
Do you know how they were, yeah, I hadn't heard of that either. Do you know how they were letting people know about that?
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. It was on Facebook. That's the only thing that's all I know.
We posted it on Facebook. We took something that you all did and just shared it on our site. So we put it out there. Yeah. So
okay.
Good. I'm glad you knew about it, Giselle. I hadn't heard about that.
Okay.
So
yeah, yeah. So
I was just gonna pipe in on Eric's list of apps that you can find some information on. The Watch Duty always has the prescribed burns on there too.
yeah. Yes, and Watch Duty is an excellent app. I use it. So let's move on. The sheriff and the CHP and the county natural resources folks, I'm pretty sure nobody is here from any of those. Is that correct? All right, then we're going to move on to Stevens funding. As far as I know, that has not reopened and only someone from the Forest Service would know for sure. Jen, have you heard anything about it?
I don't have any updates for Stevens fundings tonight.
Okay. And then we're going to start with the local fire safe councils and their updates. Black Mountain. Oh, Julie.
Giselle?
Yes.
I believe that Carolyn Napper put in an update for the Shasta Trinity National Forest, which I don't see it on the agenda, but she got an update. I saw it in there in your chat.
Okay, Carolyn, I don't see it. I don't know why, but I'm not showing that. Would you like to give us a verbal update on the Shasta Trinity?
Giselle, I just put in there the little bit of information I know so that people had a chance to they can read it in the chat. I think, similar to the Klamath, staffing levels are good. We were able to hire people in December and January. So our 6 engines should be full. We do have a new district ranger at the Mount Shasta McLeod district. Oops. He started a couple weeks ago, and I was just trying to upload the snow survey results, and am struggling with that, but I'll try to see if I can get those in there. But again, Similar to what Patty was reflecting, there was like maybe a 5,000 or 6,000 foot level where the snow below that was not as much, but we really did have a very good year, average year with good snowfall this winter. So that's what I just shared, but we'll definitely try to get somebody from the unit on the call next time.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's cool that the ranger is moving into Dunsmuir, it looks like you said too.
Yeah, exactly. I think Joe
Wow,
bought a
it's
house
becoming
there,
the
and
hub.
he's coming up from Reading, where he worked as the environmental coordinator for the forest for 3 years. And I think he came over from BOR before that. So he's in place, and yeah, just trying to learn and all those things that you have to do. So I'm sure he'll zero in on this when he gets an opportunity.
What's his name, Carolyn?
His name is Joe Rodarme, Rodarme.
And his first name
Yeah.
is Joe, J-O-E?
Joe, yeah, super nice guy. Yeah,
That's
he's
great.
fantastic.
Yeah, we usually have the Shasta Trinity update under item E, U.S. Forest Service. I probably should just put the two in there, KNF and Shasta Trinity, but
That's good. I can already feel a little cooler air moving.
Yeah, so I
Here, Ben.
let Jen
Oh,
Womack know, and she'll probably try to get somebody in place to help out with messaging for these calls.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Anyway, okay, Black Mountain. I don't have any updates from them. I know they're concerned about the water issue and the dam removals and not having adequate firefighting water sources, but there's some solutions coming down the pike as well. So, but it is a concern. Butte Valley, we have one ingress and egress grant going on there, and we've signed up several landowners in the Bray area. We're working on that. Copco Lake, nothing new. Dunsmuir, I just got an update from Vestra, who's taken over project management for that area. And they've got several landowners. It looks like they're moving right along. Maybe 50% of the landowners signed up. They're getting close to completing the CEQA. So that project, and maybe just have you review the CEQA. You can have some input as you need. Let's see.
It's crazy. You broke up again really bad.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, what did you hear last? I don't know what to say. Working on Dunsmuir, we've got several landowners signed up, and the CEQA is moving along and getting near completion. Did you hear that?
Okay.
Okay, I don't know. Okay. And then Greater Weed, we've applied for a CWPP for them, and we haven't heard back yet from CAL FIRE. Hammond's Ranch, who's here from Hammond's Ranch? Okay. Happy Camp, Michael Hintz, he couldn't be here, but he said his update is the CAL VTP, which is a vegetation treatment plan process, is going, and he says, please get other thoughts on this if you can. It's quite daunting challenge. CEQA compliance permitting. Well, we're doing a VTP and we're doing it with Vestra's help, and I think it's a good thing. It's not quite the same as CEQA, but the process is very similar. And we're going to be using Shasta Valley RCD as our lead agency, and he might do that too, rather than CAL FIRE, because it's a quicker process. He says also KNF cross-boundary burn plans for Karuk's tribe, the MK Mid-Klamath Watershed Council, Happy Camp Ranger District. Progress is being made on their cross-boundaries burning plan. And Happy Camp Fire Safe Council crews are up and running. They've got 3 new hires this year, full time. Wow, good for them. Okay, then we're going to move on to Horse Creek. Anybody from Horse Creek? Juniper Flat. Juniper Flat is finalizing their project as of April 15th, will be completely done. It's been quite a whirlwind, lots of really good things done. You'll have to take a drive out there to see all the ingress and egress. And Margie King has just been so good with working with the residents out there and mitigating a lot of the fire hazards. And it's been 4 years, and she needs to be congratulated with her excellent work. Klamath River.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Klamath River, as you know, Klamath River community is in the process of rebuilding after the McKinney fire. I attend the monthly long-term recovery group meetings, and we have a new case management personnel on board that are figuring out the next round of unmet needs. We have a couple of residences along Klamath, the Highway 96, Klamath River Highway, that are almost done with their homes being rebuilt. And that's really uplifting for the community to see. The community hall has plans on breaking ground on their pavilion, where the old Klamath River Community Hall site. That's their plan, is to build a pavilion, which is just basically a roof where people can come and host community events. And then as the process of rebuilding the hall itself is ongoing, we'll have at least a structure to hold meetings under. And the second turkey shoot fundraiser of the year for the Klamath River Community Hall was a success in March. It was great. And then as a private landowner here in Klamath River, we are doing some underburning and pile burning on 20 acres of private land, and also keeping in touch with Pacific Power. They have a plan to change all of the existing wooden power poles to fiberglass metal poles. And they estimate that that project will be done in the Klamath River area at the end of 2024. So we're excited about that. Some of the poles are getting moved from, instead of having the poles running across the forest, they're going to be along the roadways, and they're also going to use fire rated cabling or wire to this that's fire resistant. So we're really excited about that happening. I can say personally, on our property, we have a couple of power lines that go across the creek and across mountains, and this, I think, will improve the ability of them to maintain the lines. So keeping an eye on that project moving along. The only other business really with the Klamath River Fire Safe Council is just keeping in touch with the community about if anybody wants any information about home hardening, anything. I'm just keeping my ears out. It's people in the community are still pretty spread out. Oh, hi, Josh. I see your message. I'll put my contact information in.
Yeah. Also, Josh, at the end of the Fire Safe Council updates, would you like to give an update for Shasta Valley RCD?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, so next, let's see, where are we? Lake Shastina. Lake Shastina, as I said, we're working on a vegetation treatment plan, VTP there. Vester's also doing that. We're moving right along. We've also got the Rain Rock Casino fundraised money, and they're putting that to good use. They've got a committee that's making some decisions about how they're going to apply that, and it looks like they're going to do some burn tree removal and some defensible space. So excited about those possibilities. And they're doing well out there, moving right along. Lower Scott River, anybody? McLeod, as you know, they're doing Pacific Forest Trust. It's all the way around the town. It's quite impressive what they have planned. They have, I think, 13 units that they're going to burn and will completely fuel reduce the perimeter of the city of McLeod. Mount Shasta area, we're still working along Old Stage Road, expanding out for ingress and egress from well, down to the cutoff all the way up to Ream. And that's coming along as well. Orleans Soames Bar, anybody? Quartz Valley, Greg Randiso, or however, pardon me for
Randazzo.
Randazzo.
So we're still kind of in the beginning phase of everything. I'm still working with the council to figure out if we want to have the tribe be directly involved with the Fire Safe Council or not, or see how that's going to look. I should have confirmation on that tomorrow. But from that, we should have at least one Type 6 staff for Quartz Valley this season. Other than that, we have our 2 water tenders, which we should have drivers for, and we have a chipper now, so hopefully we can get a community chipping day or something going. And we're working on getting a green waste disposal site set up for Quartz Valley, at least just for the reservation starting off with, but hopefully we can open it up to the public soon as well.
That's good, Greg. That's all awesome things. Those green waste sites are so valuable. We need one in every community. It really encourages landowners to do their fuel reduction. So Salmon River, anybody from
So
there?
actually at the end of this,
Go ahead.
sorry. So at the end of this month, there's a training up in Oregon, up in Pendleton, Oregon. It's a certified wildfire mitigation practices training. It's a 2-day short course that I'll be attending so I can finally kind of get certified a little bit. But that's something, it's through coalitions and collaboratives. It's something I would suggest anybody that's in this line of work to look into. It's a super valuable course, lots of really good information, and hopefully it'll give me a really good starting point.
Well, can you put that information in the chat so others can take advantage if they wish?
I can, yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Salmon River, Syad Valley, Wairika area, anybody? And then others. If I've missed you and you have a fire safe council you represent and you would like to say something, please speak up. Then we're going to go back to Shasta Valley RCD, and we now have Josh here. And would you give us an update on the Shasta Valley RCD?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Josh Rivera. I'm a project manager at Shasta Valley RCD, specifically focusing on post-fire / reforestation. A general update, I don't know if anyone has heard or been told, but we just got a forest health grant approved, which is awesome. And I don't have the numbers written down or off the top of my head, unfortunately, but it's really good news. In other words, we'll be able to continue doing good work and expanding and developing, a healthier landscape and more fire resistant. Other updates, I guess, in the post-fire niche, that I've been focusing on. We have work going on kind of in the Mount Shasta area that's starting to pick up with the weather starting to get better. And then, near the Gazelle area, we have more post-fire, which is like site prep and reforestation starting to pick up. And I'd be really interested in speaking with Yvonne about, non-industrial private landowners that have been affected by the McKinney fire that need, site prep and reforestation needs. What else? Yeah, that's kind of short and sweet of what I've got.
All right. Well, we appreciate you and everything that you're doing and the help that you provided to the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County and others throughout the county. You're a valuable resource. Thank you again.
Of course.
Again,
I'm gonna pipe in, Yvonne, I can't ever seem to get, the emails about, I've asked several different people about trying to get the emails on the email list to get the invites for the monthly McKinney Fire Long-Term Recovery Group.
Okay, I'll make sure and
Um,
forward it to you, and I'll get the right person.
And I
There-
thought maybe we
there's
should
some
ask
kind of-
Joshua if he wants to get in on that too, because that would be the forum probably to make those connections he's talking about.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you as well, the other side of the coin, about, from your perspective and knowing your community, the folks whose homes did not burn, is there a lot of need for, defensible space clearance on the homes that did not burn in the McKinney fire in your community?
It's hard actually right now to gather the community, I would have to say, the outreach, just with all the things that have happened with COVID, with the McKinney fire, it's really starting from scratch, I would say. I think it really helps that, if we have these community hall places to meet, events, there's a lot of, as you know, it's in small communities, there's a lot of, hey, Joe, what you doing? And then you start a conversation, and that really works well in this community. So it's hard to tell right now who needs what, to be honest. So I would say I'm really building from the ground up again, the connections with people who want the resources. I think there's especially with the McKinney fire, as you guys know, when it's catastrophic like that, it's so fast. Even the places that had fuels reduction done, you just couldn't do it didn't make any difference. That
Right.
fire moved so fast, so hot. The conditions were just the perfect storm. So some people I know have maybe a resignation or just can't quite get there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm just always keeping my eyes and ears open for opportunities. Good question though. And yes, we would love a participation. It's a community meeting, so it's open to anybody. It's an open meeting. There have been some changes in hands as to who is actually the Zoom coordinator or the Zoom leader. And so I think I did see an email saying that some of the emails were lost, so I'll get that information to you.
Yeah, no worries. We experienced the same kind of stuff with switching over to new email platform. And so not a critique in any way, just would like to get back on board with it. So, yeah.
All right, everyone. So, Kristen, did you pick up on any action items that we need to be aware of for next month?
I was listening in transit for the first 25 minutes. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the recording to fill in the gaps on the minutes of what I missed. Not anything really super glaring that I can see in my notes here.
Kristen, do you have any information on the June 1st workshop that's coming up? Should we say anything about that?
Yeah, that was the one thing I was gonna pass over to Julie to give everyone a save the date announcement. Julie, you wanna give a little blurb?
Yeah, the save the date was quite a while ago. It's still scheduled for June 1st, as far as I know. You guys, yeah,
Well, I don't think
and
anyone, it hasn't gone out to, I don't think, the
no, well,
email
that's
list,
true.
so
It's only
it's
for
just,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We got to get a poster and get it out, but that will be a fire awareness, preparedness, training, training workshop kind of opportunity. We held it in the past. It's been at COS, College of the Siskiyou, and it's a nice place to do it because the engines can come in to show their equipment, and people with like Red Cross and some of the other people wanted to bring equipment and show what they have. So it starts out with sort of roughly an hour of just presentation on the awareness and preparedness aspects, the wildfire science of fire and severity and fuels, and the things you can expect based on the fuels in your area type thing. We talk about that. CAL FIRE talks about updates. There are some what would you say, PRC code updates, and Jeremy Johnson, could pipe in, but we're not going to go in specifics, but they will bring that up to the defensible space laws, policies are going to be in flux this year and changing. So it's really good to be aware of. There's going to be a lot of good information to share out, and agencies get a lot of updates, and it does, they try to get it out to the public as best they can, but it's a great forum to ask the questions as this fire season approaches. And we picked June 1st because May 1st, I mean, in the last years, it was cold, rainy, and a whole bunch of other events going on. So we pushed it off a little and hoping that this might be a little better timing. It's definitely better for the agencies because they all are in training for a lot of May. So it's better for them to be there to answer your questions and have equipment and such. And it'll be local fire departments, CAL FIRE, Forest Service, and then a myriad of other entities that want to come and show various equipment and things. So that's it. So there's gonna be a coordination meeting with the agencies. But anyway, it's June 1st. We'll get a poster out there so you can post it, you guys. You go so far ahead, then people kind of, if you go 2 months ahead, nobody's gonna look at it.
Right.
So we're getting close to where, yeah, we can do that. Thanks.
Yep, thank you, Julie. Oh, you're muted, Giselle.
Thank you, Julie. That's awesome. Last year we had, it was really good presentations. I wish we'd had more people, but this year, I'm trusting that we will, because it's such good information that was disseminated. And
Giselle, can I ask what happened with the insurance thing that we're supposed to?
well, we will be doing that soon. The gals couldn't make it. One will maybe be in May, and the next one, that's the commissioner's office, and the other one might be in June. United Policyholders. We were trying to get them to do it together, but it wasn't working out. So we haven't given up. It's coming, Arlene, either next month or in June.
Okay, so do you know if there's any progress in getting more insurance out here, or?
I don't. I don't know what the latest is. I know there's some things that are changing, and they're trying to make it easier for folks. So I'm hopeful there'll be some good news soon.
Okay. Oh, by the way, if I may, I just want to say that Pacific Power did an incredible job. We've got those big power lines at the bottom of our property that had really gotten overgrown. They totally cleaned it up, and
nice.
every piece of brush, and on either side of it for quite a ways, there's not anything down there. So I was really pleased. They really cleaned it out really well.
Nice. That's good news.
But they're not on here to hear you say that. That usually we often have pack power people on here.
Yeah, sometimes we do. It said it, the Pack Power guy said he's gonna be out of the office for a month. He's going to some kind of workshop or meeting somewhere other than here. So, oops, great.
Marlene, you're down in Dunsmuir, right? Or
No,
no?
no, Mount Shasta,
That's right, Mount Shasta. I'm
the
thinking
top of Old McLeod Road, so.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, as far as, as far as we've heard, the best thing you can be doing right now in terms of the insurance situation is trying to form a Firewise community with your 7 other neighbors to, that is, as far as we know, the best bet that is available right now to get an insurance reduction.
I'm not even worried about reductions. I'm just worried about keeping insurance.
Well, it's the same. It's the same. It's hard. Having the Firewise USA designation makes it less likely that you'll get dropped. And if you've been dropped, this is coming from CAL FIRE and all the folks higher level. They have told us specifically to tell residents that if you have been dropped, then like my dad out in Shasta County in Shingletown, he was dropped and had to go on the FAIR plan. He started a Firewise community, and even on the FAIR plan, he got a 10% reduction on his on the FAIR plan. And then what they are telling us is that having that Firewise designation is the only hope of getting off the FAIR plan and getting reinsured at a more reasonable rate with the normal insurance company. So, yeah.
Well, apparently they were happy with us cutting down $12,000 worth of trees.
Yeah.
We're all around our house.
You guys did a lot of work, and the Fire Safe Council, if that whole subdivision, we feel reduced it. So you'd think that that would make a difference as well. We did 150 acres
It
out
does
there.
count.
Yeah.
That is
And I
so.
think it did.
So
Yeah.
just to, so you have a wildfire risk score that's calculated by your insurance company, and those community level fuel reduction projects should be calculated into your wildfire risk score, but often the insurance companies don't. They don't know about them. They don't utilize that in your calculation, and so some people are like, oh, I don't want to rock the boat and raise any red flags. I'm not going to call them and ask them to give me a printout of my wildfire risk score to see if they've, calculated everything they should. But yeah, and then so if you've done work like the tree removal or hired contractors to do defensible space or done it yourself, try to document that. Keep invoices.
Oh, that's how I got at the insurance, because they were
Yeah.
gonna cancel
Yeah,
it.
do before and after pictures, all of that. I'm saying in terms of for like the Firewise
Right.
community too. So yeah, there it's definitely worth trying to get 7 other neighbors on your road to get on board to go through the process to start the Firewise community. But yeah, it does take some work, and
Yeah.
they,
Well, it's hit and miss, because some people are very into having everything cleaned up, and then we'll have a neighbor that's yeah, sort of, but not really, so.
yeah. But that's what they find with these Firewise communities is that you can always add more people later. You just find the 7 that are already ready to get on board with it. And then once the other neighbors who were dragging their feet and not engaging hear that all the neighbors around them that are part of the Firewise community are getting these 25% reductions on their premium rates, then they start listening, and then they want to come get on board.
The trouble is we're all getting really old,
Right.
really tired and not effective.
No, we're older.
the
We're not
problem.
old, just older.
Well, some of us are older than others, so
Yeah.
that's pretty much the problem. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. All righty. Anything else before we sign off for the evening? You all have been great. It's been a good time, at least for me.
Yeah.
And
I'll just put a plug in if you guys have kids or grandkids, you can come see me at the community center's Kids Fest at the Weed Park, and that'll be our first outreach event of the year on April 20th for Earth Day. That we'll kick off our outreach season. So you can come on by and say hi.
Is there
It looks
anything
like
else?
Madeline has her hand up.
Yeah, I see that. Anything else, Kristen? For our outreaches coming up in maybe May or?
Yeah, it's gonna start really picking up. I would have to bring up the outreach calendar here. Here it is. It's loading. My computer is slow. Oh, well, go ahead to go to Madeline and I'll.
Yeah. Hey, Madeline, your hand's up. Do you have a comment?
Oh, if I unmuted. Okay, okay. All right. Question about the how contiguous do the parcels that are on board, how contiguous does that need to be? And who determines whether you've met the Firewise criteria?
Good question. So they do not have to be contiguous. You do not have to share property boundaries. It's very open-ended how the Firewise community boundaries are drawn. It can be as few as 8 property owners that can, it could be in the Scott Valley where, these properties are 1,000 acres each and spread out all the way across the whole valley, or it could be like Stephen is starting to look into creating the whole town of Dunsmuir as a Firewise community. It can be up to, I believe, 2,500 homes. So it's a minimum of 8, up to 2,500 homes. So it's very open-ended. There's no geographical parameters of how close or far away the people in your Firewise community have to be to you. What we've heard from all the folks that have been doing this for decades, managing Firewise communities in other counties, they say it is most effective when the sweet spot they say is like 10 to 25 homes that are actually cohesive geographically, just because it keeps momentum and communication going more effectively. But yeah, it's very open-ended. And then
you don't have to have a house on the parcel, right? To get that credit. There's parcels with no houses that have the main ingress egress, and that would be really important to treat. And I don't see how you can really achieve fire safety when you don't have good roads for everybody to get out and in.
Yeah, I of course we would all agree. I do not think we're all learning. This is all new for all of us, all the ins and outs of Firewise USA, but I do not believe that evacuation routes, ingress egress are considered in the Firewise process. But it is, and that's why I don't know that a land that does not have a house on it would be considered in it either, because it is all about defensible space and the homes. So that's a good question though. I don't know the answers completely, but my guess is, from what I do know, it would not. It's really just about defensible space around homes. But then your second question, there's a whole process, and there's community wildfire risk assessment that is done. We did when we were trying to get the first Firewise community established in Dunsmuir last year. It's initially just a visual assessment, and we drove around with Chief Padilla, and there's basically a checklist that you have to do a visual assessment from the road. You don't walk around on anyone's property, of all the homes that you can see. It's home hardening and defensible space checklist. It's I don't know, maybe like 30 items that you have to assess for each home. And then you set, you get percentages of the homes that meet the criteria, almost meet the criteria, don't meet the criteria, are really far below the criteria.
And based on that, then you set goals. So you have to renew every year. But that process is very simple and straightforward and easy, but you have to rewrite your whole Firewise community, plan and do another risk assessment every 3 years. So you set goals for, how much increased percentage of homes are going to, meet. And
what we could do, Madeline, is maybe have a Firewise workshop at our, maybe at one of our meetings, have a Firewise person come and talk how Cal Fire, and Kristen, who's pretty versed in it, come and give a talk on it.
Yeah,
And and help you out. Yeah, it's quite a bit of information just for a few minute conversations. So,
but I appreciate that was a really great introduction, and it'll help me here try to figure out what to do with this whole subdivision.
all right.
Yeah, and you can just go on, Google Firewise USA. It's the NFPA, National Fire Protection Agency, is who kind of is the umbrella organization for Firewise. Cal Fire manages it, so Cal Fire is who receives the Firewise USA applications. And they have a local unit based in Reading that is for all of Northern California that processes all that, and then they're involved in the whole certification process. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kristen, for that update, and Madeline for your question. All good stuff. And I think when we get the insurance folks here, they're going to give us more information about that too, because there is some revision, but I think it's in our favor. All right, anybody else?
I was just going to give you the update on the outreach events, which have not been officially finalized or approved by the board, Fire Safe Council's board yet, but in the past we have done just that one in the Kids Festival in Weed in April. As far as community events, we have done, the workshops at the Native Grounds Nursery and whatnot in years past. But not this year. We're kind of going for an every other year schedule for that workshop. And so the next ones will be in May. There's Siskiyou County Mother's Day Spring Festival in Wairika, and the McLeod Mushroom Festival that we haven't done before, but we might do. So yeah.
You know what might be good is if when you get your calendar kind of filled in, just send it. I see Nina's asking to just send it out to us, and we can share it.
Yep.
So that would be great. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming. And our next meeting will be May 8th. Same time, same place, same station. Nina, do you have something to say? Okay. Anybody have anything to say before we say goodnight? All right, y'all. It's been good. And talk to you soon. Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Grabbing the chat here.
Yeah, I tried to. I can't remember how to do that. Because I wanted to read them.
You hit the dots.
The dots up here.
At the bottom of the chat, hit the dots.
I don't
and then
see any
save chat.
dots. Let's see. I don't see dots
It's
at
at
the
the
bottom.
very bottom where you would type in a comment.
Yeah,
No.
it's a little bit ambiguous. I sometimes have a hard time finding it, even though I know it's there somewhere. There's
I'm
like a
clicking
smiley,
on nothing's happening. I'll just
smiley
copy.
face. There's a smiley face icon, a pencil icon, a page icon, and a screen with a plus sign screenshot.
Well,
icon.
I'll just go with yours, Kristen.
Yeah, I got it. Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know, last year before, we had that gathering at the nursery at the south end of town.
Recapture that for me. Greg.
Yeah, that was what I was
What'd
just
you
talking
say?
about. That was the firescaping
We're going to do that
workshop.
again?
And what Giselle said last year is that has typically been an every other year kind of workshop. No, it is not in the pipeline this year.
Okay. Be nice to see people.
Yeah, we're going to be having a board meeting coming up here soon, and we will be making our plans, and maybe we can, Kristen, put that as a note, and maybe we will ask them if they want to do that or not.
Okay. I'm gonna stop the recording.
We had